You smell it before anyone says anything. Burnt flesh. Burning flesh has a thickness to it, a sweetness that doesn't belong indoors. It hits the back of your throat and stays there, coating your tongue like something oily you can't swallow away. Your body reacts first. Of course it does. Your brain likes to pretend it's in charge, but your body has been running this show since you were born. Your stomach tightens. Your breath shortens. Your eyes water for no reason you can explain yet. You look sideways. The woman at the next machine is burning. Not in a clean, cinematic way. Not a single dramatic flare. It starts small. One sleeve, one cuff. The fabric curls inward like it's trying to crawl away from the heat. Then it catches properly, and the flame climbs with sudden confidence, bright and fast, like it was waiting for permission. Her arm jerks once, like her muscles don't know what to do with the sensation, like her nerves are firing off messages faster than her mind can translate them. She stares at it. That's the part you remember later. Not the scream, the stare, the way she looks at her own arm like it belongs to someone else. She screams once anyway, sharp and animal. Then the sound is swallowed by everything else, because the room is already loud. Chairs scrape. Machines clatter as they're shoved aside. Someone knocks a stool over and it skids across the floor like a thrown coin. The air changes. Heat presses against your face, not like warmth, but like pressure. Like walking too close to an open oven. Except the oven is the room, and you are inside it. Someone shouts something you don't catch. Another girl is crying. Not sobbing, not quietly. Crying like a child, loud and high and humiliating, as if her body has decided there's no reason to pretend anymore. A row behind you, fabric ignites with a dry tearing sound. That's when your mind catches up. This is not the beginning. This is the moment where you realize you are already behind. You stand up. Everyone stands up. It's funny how fast order disappears. 1 second, you're at a machine, hands doing the same motion you've done all day, the same motion you'll do tomorrow. The next second, the room becomes a single organism trying to escape its own skin. Somewhere, absurdly far away from this, a person is listening. Maybe in the dark. Maybe half asleep. Maybe with the volume low, thinking this is going to be interesting. If that's you, good, stay awake. Tell us where you're listening from. Tell us what time it is. Tell us what kind of nightmare you want next. Because right now, you don't get to choose yours. The flames surge again, and the light in the room turns orange. Close, orange. Someone shouts that it's small, that it's just scraps, that it's under control. You believe this for the length of a breath. Then the heat reaches your cheeks, and you flinch like you've been struck. Not warmth, pressure. The kind of heat that doesn't sit on your skin. It pushes into it. Your scalp prickles. Your arms feel tight, like the air is shrinking around your bones. Smoke settles low, clinging to ankles and calves first. You register that detail with bizarre calm, like you're filing it away, like you're still a person who will need facts later. Then the smoke rises. Not dramatically, not with curls and soft billows. It pours upward and outward, thickening so quickly you can't believe it's real. Your eyes burn instantly. Tears stream down your face without relief. You blink and the room smears. The woman who was burning is no longer screaming. She's making a different sound now. Short, wet, confused. Someone grabs her. The flames jump like they've been waiting for company. You step back. You hit another body. There's no room. The fire isn't spreading politely from one point to the next. It's leaping. It's taking shortcuts. Fabric piles go up as if they're soaked in oil. And maybe they are. You don't have time to wonder. You start moving toward the door because that is what humans do. We move toward exits the way moths move toward light. Not because it's intelligent, because it's automatic. You hear pounding ahead, fists hitting wood, metal rattling. Someone screams, "Open it." The handle doesn't move. You get close enough to see hands on the door. Too many hands, fingers white with pressure, knuckles already bruising. Someone screams for the key. Someone else screams back, "It's locked." That's when it hits you. Not as information, as betrayal. The doors are locked from the outside. They always are. You remember tugging this door at the end of long shifts. The way it never opened right away. The way you'd sigh, roll your shoulders, wait for the click like it was nothing more than a minor inconvenience. You remember thinking it was annoying. Petty. You never thought it was dangerous. Rules always feel small when nothing is happening. Now the room is on fire, and the rule hasn't changed. Someone pounds on the wood hard enough to make it shudder. Another woman joins her, then another, fists slamming in uneven rhythm like the door might respond to volume instead of authority. Someone screams for the key again. Someone else screams that the key is downstairs. Someone laughs once sharp, broken, and then stops. Your mind keeps insisting this will resolve itself, that someone will come, that this is a misunderstanding that will be corrected any second now. That belief lasts longer than it should. You've walked past them 100 times without thinking. You've tugged on the handle at the end of the day, waited for it to give. You've cursed the delay, the inconvenience, the way the rules always feel just slightly cruel. Now the rule is a sentence. People hesitate. That's the part that kills time you don't have. They wait for instruction, for permission, for a voice that sounds official enough to believe. The crowd presses closer, bodies tight, breathing shallow. Everyone expecting the moment where an adult steps in and fixes this. No one does. Someone near you whispers that they can't breathe. Another woman says it's fine, that it's just smoke, that they've dealt with worse. Her voice shakes even as she says it. You don't know if she's convincing you or herself. Seconds stretch wrong here. Too long. Too thick. The fire does not wait with you. You feel your stomach drop. A girl near the front starts sobbing. Loud. Uncontrolled. Like her body is leaking out of her face. The crowd compresses tighter. Bodies press chest to back. You can't lift your arms. Your ribs ache. You try to inhale deeply. Your chest refuses to expand. Cute. Behind you, fabric ignites with that ripping sound again. The orange light flickers across faces. Wide eyes, open mouths, sweat already shining on skin. The smell of burning flesh comes back, stronger now. It's not just one woman anymore. Smoke reaches your knees, then your waist, then your chest. It doesn't drift the way you expect. It settles, heavy, dense, like something poured rather than carried by air. Each breath tastes sweet and chemical, coating your tongue and refusing to leave. You swallow instinctively and regret it immediately. Your eyes burn so badly, you stop trying to keep them open. Tears spill without relief. When you blink, the room smears, shapes bleeding into one another until people become shadows and shadows become movement. Someone vomits nearby. The sound is wet and violent. The smell adds another layer to the air, thickening it further, like the room is stacking problems on top of each other. You crouch, remembering something about smoke rising. It doesn't help. It tastes wrong. Sweet, chemical, heavy, like you're swallowing a dirty syrup that coats your throat and refuses to move. You try to hold your breath. It doesn't help. Breathing is not optional. Your body demands it, the way it demands blood and water. You can argue with it later. You cough. The cough doesn't clear anything. It just drags more smoke deeper into you and makes your throat feel scraped raw instantly. You crouch, instinctively searching for thinner air near the floor. There isn't any. The smoke has already decided where it wants to live. Someone behind you falls. You don't see it happen, You feel it. The crowd ripples. Weight shifts forward like a wave. The pressure on your back increases sharply. A scream cuts off mid-sound. You don't look down. You don't need to. You already understand what it means to be on the floor in a room like this. A sewing table tips. Then another. Machines crash down, sparks flashing as they hit the floor. The sound is wrong. Metal slamming, glass breaking, wood splintering. Like the room itself is coming apart under the weight of its own panic. Someone is pinned under a machine. Her legs kick violently, shoes scraping uselessly. Hands reaching up as if she can pull the weight off by willpower alone. She can't. No one can reach her. The crowd is too dense. The floor is too chaotic. The heat is too aggressive. You feel your skin tighten again. Not pain yet. Sensation. Your cheeks feel stretched. Your arms feel dry. The tiny hairs on your forearms crisp and curl. You smell it, and for a sick moment, you don't know if it's you or someone else. Your lungs start to burn. Not the throat. Deeper. Like the inside of your chest has been scrubbed with something harsh. Each breath feels shallower than the last. Breathing stops being automatic. You have to force it. In. Fire. Out. Fire. You start counting breaths without deciding to. 1, 2, 3. Your hands tingle. Your fingers feel clumsy. Your vision narrows at the edges, like someone is slowly pulling a curtain closed. This isn't panic. This is physiology. Your fingers tingle, then go strangely numb. You try to flex them, and the signal feels delayed, like your hands are receiving instructions through water. Your chest refuses to expand fully now. Each breath stops halfway in, shallow and unsatisfying. You start counting without meaning to. In, out, in. The count slips almost immediately. Your thoughts slow. Not dramatically, just enough to notice. Simple decisions feel heavier. You forget what you were about to do halfway through doing it. This is the body conserving what little it has left. It does not ask your opinion, and physiology does not care what you want. The crowd pushes again, and you realize you are no longer moving toward an exit. You're moving because the mass is moving, and if you stop, you'll be eaten by it. Somewhere near the windows, glass shatters. Cold air rushes in. For half a second, your body surges with hope. Then the fire answers, and the heat rolls forward again. Someone screams that the stairwell is open. The word open moves through the room faster than you do. It jumps from mouth to mouth, half heard, distorted by smoke and panic, but it lands anyway. Open means air. Open means space. Open means maybe. Your body latches onto it immediately. You don't decide to go. You are carried. The crowd shifts sideways in a violent surge, bodies peeling away from the door that won't open and flowing toward a narrow gap between machines. You stumble forward, feet barely finding the floor. Someone slams into your shoulder hard enough to rattle your teeth. Another body clips your jaw. Your head snaps sideways, and you taste blood. You register this calmly. That will swell later, you think. As if later still exists. The stairwell door appears through the smoke. Dark metal, already smeared with soot. Hands are on it. Someone yanks it open. Heat explodes upward. Not warmth. Force. It hits your face like a solid thing. A blast so intense you recoil without deciding to. The stairwell is already full. Not of people, but of smoke and flame, boiling upward with purpose. You hear it before you really see it, the roar. A deep, hungry sound, like the building itself is inhaling. Fire climbs stairs faster than anyone ever could. Women who reach the door first stagger backward, gagging violently, clutching their throats. One drops to her knees and retches, producing nothing but thick, stringy saliva that immediately turns grey. Someone else collapses entirely. You see her hands first, grasping at the step, fingernails scraping uselessly against metal. Then she's gone, swallowed as bodies pile forward. You note, distantly, that the stairwell is narrow. Too narrow. A perfect vertical channel for heat and smoke. A chimney. The fire behaves differently here. More aggressive, less scattered. It moves upward with intent, climbing faster than any person could, rolling along the walls like it's searching for oxygen. Women who reach the stairwell first stagger back almost immediately, faces flushed, mouths open in silent shock before the sound catches up. One collapses forward, knees buckling without warning, hands scraping uselessly at the steps. The heat alone is enough to drive people back. Not flames, heat. It presses against you like a solid thing, forcing you away, whether you want to go or not. Your skin prickles. Hair crisps. The air itself feels hostile. This is not an escape. This is a trap that pretends to be one. This should have been obvious, you think. It isn't comforting. You're shoved forward anyway. Your lungs seize at the heat. The air is unbreathable here, hot enough to scorch your throat instantly. You cough once, violently, and the sound tears at your chest. Your body recoils, screaming no, but the crowd doesn't care. They push. The stairwell is not an exit. It's worse than the room you just left. You retreat because you have no other option, stumbling backward into smoke that feels cooler only by comparison. Behind you, the fire answers the delay by advancing. You understand something then with cold precision. There is no path that leads away from this. Someone screams about the elevators. You don't hear the full sentence, just the word elevators. But your body reacts to it anyway. Elevators mean down. Down means distance. Distance means less heat. You move again. The crowd fractures into new currents, dragging you sideways through smoke and debris toward the far wall. The air here vibrates differently. Metal, machinery, a low hum barely audible beneath the chaos. Then you hear it. The bell. The sound is calm, neutral, mechanical. It does not belong here. For half a second, your body believes it anyway. The brain loves familiar signals. Elevators mean order. Elevators mean systems still work. Elevators mean someone thought about this. The doors slide open smoothly, obediently, like nothing is wrong. That illusion lasts just long enough to be fatal. A clean mechanical ding that sounds impossibly out of place. Too calm. Too normal. Like it belongs to another day entirely. The elevator doors slide open. For half a second, no one moves. Then everyone does. Bodies surge forward in a single violent wave. You're slammed sideways, ribs screaming as you're crushed against metal and flesh. Someone's elbow drives into your spine. Another body wedges against your chest so tightly you can't expand your lungs at all. You try to inhale. Nothing happens. The box fills instantly, far beyond capacity. Someone screams that it's full. Someone else screams that there's still room. There isn't. The doors struggle to close, shuddering as fabric and limbs catch in the gap. Smoke pours into the car, thick and black, coating every surface. You hear someone inside crying, not screaming, crying. Short, broken sounds that don't seem loud enough to matter. The elevator lurches. Metal groans. You feel it more than you see it. The sudden downward pull, the way the floor drops a fraction of an inch before continuing. The cables scream. Then the elevator falls. Not fast enough to kill anyone cleanly. Not slow enough to allow hope. The screams inside stretch, distort, then cut off all at once in a sound that doesn't echo. Silence rushes up the shaft. The bell does not ring again. No one moves toward the elevator after that. No one has to say anything. You stand there, breathing shallow, lungs burning, and understand that what just happened was mercy compared to what's coming next. The fire advances again, impatient. And now there are no exits left that even pretend to be kind. The room is smaller now. Not physically, functionally. The air has been stripped down to something barely usable. Every breath feels rationed, like your lungs are negotiating for space that no longer exists. You are no longer standing on your own. Pressure holds you upright, bodies packed so tightly that when someone shifts, you feel it ripple through you like a muscle twitch you didn't initiate. Your feet barely touch the floor. Your arms are pinned uselessly at your sides. Someone near you goes limp. You don't see it happen. You feel it. The sudden sag, the way weight redistributes violently as the crowd compensates. A woman is forced downward, her cry flattened into a wet sound as shoes and skirts press over her. You hear bone crack. It's distant, impersonal, like snapping wood. Your chest tightens further. Breaths shorten. Each inhale feels like it stops halfway in, as if your lungs have decided they're done expanding. Your fingers tingle. That's not panic, you note. That's oxygen deprivation. Your vision dims at the edges. The room tunnels inward. Faces blur. Sounds stretch, distort. You think briefly that if you could just sit down. Then you realize sitting down here would mean never getting back up. The fire surges again, close enough now that you feel it on your back. Heat peels across skin, sharp and immediate. Hair singes. Someone screams behind you, and the sound ends abruptly, swallowed by flame. The crowd does not stop. It cannot. This is what happens when too many bodies occupy too little air. Light appears through the smoke, not firelight. Daylight. Windows. For the first time since this started, the room has an edge, a boundary, something that isn't fire or bodies. People break toward it immediately. The crowd fractures, currents peeling away from each other as women scramble over machines, tables, anything that can lift them closer to clean air. You're dragged with them, legs barely cooperating, lungs screaming. Glass shatters outward. Cold air rushes in, shocking and sharp. It slices down your throat and into your chest like a knife. You inhale greedily. For 2 seconds, it helps. Then your lungs spasm violently, rejecting the sudden change. You cough hard enough to double over, vision flashing white. Around you, women gag, retch, cling to the window frames like they might be pulled back in by the fire if they let go. You look out. The street is full. Fire trucks. Crowds. Faces tilted upward in horror. Ladders stretch toward the building. They don't reach. Several floors short. Someone climbs onto the sill beside you. She hesitates. Not long, just long enough to understand what she's looking at. Then she jumps. Her scream follows her down. Another woman goes next. Then another. The sound below is wrong. Too solid. You watch dresses billow as bodies fall past the windows, arms flailing instinctively for purchase that doesn't exist. You register distantly that the nets are tearing under the weight. The fire presses closer. The room is no longer survivable. You are out of time. The flames reach the windows. Heat roars over you, violent and immediate. Your skin tightens, then burns. Smoke floods your lungs faster than you can expel it. Your vision collapses inward. The noise fades into a low, roaring hum. Your body begins shutting things down in order. Hands first, then legs, then thought. You understand the choice clearly now. Not emotionally, not dramatically, just factually. Stay or jump. Either way, this ends here. Your body moves before your mind finishes the sentence. Silence. If you're still here, subscribe to Whispers of Time and leave a comment telling us where you were when this story found you and which moment in history you want to be trapped inside next.